Hello, it's Emma with your tarot reading of the day. If you're new here, welcome. I'm just going to be tapping in and getting some messages from your angels, ancestors and guides. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again, and let's get some messages for you, some clarity, okay? I'm going to start with the tarot today, and then I'm going to get some archetypes for you from the wild unknown. What would you like me to pass on to the collective, please? What is relevant today? Please be with me, Grandmother Tree. Grandmother Tree is holding my phone. She's recording these videos for me. So we're working in tandem with nature today, very much so. What else wants to come out for the collective, please? What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Wow. Wow. Okay. A huge rebirth is going on here. The death of an old paradigm. You're seeing things from a brand new perspective. Your perspective on life has changed quite significantly, actually. What else do we have? Wow, oh my gosh. That's incredible. Okay, yeah, we have death, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Fool. This is somebody who has gone through a huge transformation, a huge rebirth, in which their world has turned itself upside down. I don't think this is in a negative way, though. I think that this is very positive. I think there are things that you have let go of to get to this point. You are the Fool. What I notice about this card is the small bag that he is carrying. He has decided to only take with him that which is most important, that which has served him. All the rest he has left behind to pursue this new beginning, okay? And I believe that that's exactly what you're doing at this time. We have the Knight of Pentacles, okay? Hard work, productivity, conservation, efficiency. So you may be currently focused on your stability within the material world and taking decisive action to build up this stability. Perhaps you're changing jobs, perhaps you've started a new project, anything like that. It will be different for different people because these are general readings. They are timeless as well. So whenever this finds you, it was meant to find you, okay? Yeah, so really focus on creating stability within this new paradigm that we've stepped into. This is unsurprising. I'm assuming with this death card that's come out that there has been some tower moments. Your old foundations have been destroyed. You are kind of moving from a new foundation now, and you're wanting to bring this into full embodiment, into full stability, so that you can continue on this path towards a very new way of being, okay? Because I believe your internal mindset, your internal being has changed unrecognizably. But you know, you're very much focused now. You know, you've done a lot of healing work, you've centered yourself, you're kind of very stable within your own self-image, or at least you're focusing on being stable within that. And wanting to attract the physical material things that align with this new identity that you've stepped into, okay? Let's get a couple more. What else? Okay, so I did a reading yesterday, and the Wheel of Fortune came out, and it just flew out then. So you may have watched the reading yesterday. This may be for you as well. If you haven't watched it, do go back and have a look. But yes, this is this is fate. This is destiny. This is the universe turning in your favor because of what you have put out, because of the frequency, the energy that you are exuding. The universe is going to match that, okay? It's going to match that. Things are moving as we speak. There may be things that you are unclear of. That you are unclear on, but there is a lot of motion happening behind the scenes within the spiritual realm, okay? And you are supported in this. You know, the Wheel of Fortune tells me that the universe has its hand on your life currently. And it is all to do with this huge transition that you've been through, okay? Is there anything else about this transition, please, Spirit? Anything else? Wow. What about this transition? What else can we expect from this? Anything else? Whoa. Oh, the energy today. Crazy, man. I'm loving it. Okay. So, the first one we had was the Two of Swords. And we have the Four of Wands. And they came out together. So, what I'm thinking about this is that you had to make a decision. You had to make a decision. Likely it involved your home. It very much involved your stability. This is a card of kind of celebration, stability within the home, homecoming. Okay, and oh my gosh. Okay, so you made a decision between your physical location, your physical home, and your internal sense of home. Okay, so perhaps where you were, the situation that you were in, did not foster you, did not make you feel good, and so you were torn. Do I stay here where things are comfortable, where things are safe, where things are set in stone, or do I listen to my internal compass that is trying to lead me to a sense of self-homecoming and risk kind of the foundations of my old life collapsing? But I do believe that you made that decision, and what's really important here is when we're working with the universe as co-creators, it is usually us, well, it is us that makes the first move, and the universe responds. Okay, the universe just responds to you. That's all it does. It's a mirror. You make one move, the universe makes the next move, and I believe that the move you made was some kind of a decision. Okay, do take it how it resonates. It can be different for everybody, but there was a very important decision here which has really helped push you along this path to rebirth, this path to a new way of being, a new reality. Okay, what else do we have? We have the King of Cups and we have the World. Wow. Yeah, so really this gives me somebody who has really mastered their emotional landscape with the World. You've come to a sense of completion in that you are no longer battling yourself. You are holding your emotions. You're not afraid to explore your emotions because you realize you're here having a human experience. Despite the fact that you may be very intuitive and very spiritual, you do not kind of cut yourself off from exploring perhaps negative emotions associated with this past experience, because I believe that these experiences are also helping you to project yourself forward into your new beginning. Okay, but the World, yeah, you know, a celebration of life, travel, fulfillment, attainment. You may be planning to travel somewhere. This may come as a surprise to you with this Wheel of Fortune card. You know, expect the unexpected is what I want to say, because you've done the work, you've shown up. That's here in the cards. You know, well, it's definitely here in the cards because we have the Seven of Pentacles as well, which is somebody who's worked very hard. They've sown their seeds and they're waiting to reap the rewards of what they've sown. So you've really, oh my gosh, this is incredible. The King of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles, you've really worked on your emotional landscape. You've really got your emotions in check. Your emotions no longer control you. In fact, they have become a source of power. Okay, and you've transmuted this quite masterfully. And perhaps you were somebody who kind of struggled with your emotionality before. Perhaps you thought that it was a curse, being sensitive, you know, being kind of sensitive to those around you, being triggered, you know. But I don't feel like this is so much of a problem for you anymore, because of this new perspective, this new paradigm that you've been stepping into. And this is all about self-work, okay? This is somebody who has really dedicated themselves to the work that they have done internally. And now the universe is bringing the external, okay? And yeah, we have somebody who's quite focused on material stability, which is really the next step. Once you've really kind of changed your internal landscape and you're feeling stable within the self, that's when your focus kind of goes slightly more outwards, okay, to creating a life that sustains and fulfills your spirit, your identity. We have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so this is somebody who's concerned with saving money. This is somebody who's concerned with you know, as I say, abundance, stability in the outside realm. Page of Pentacles, manifestation, ambition, desire, skill development. So you may currently, as I said previously, be working on something new, and you are taking decisive action towards this with the Knight of Pentacles. But with this page, which is kind of, you know, quite a young, I'd say immature, but in this case it's not immature. It's just that it's a new idea. It's a fresh perspective when it comes to material abundance. Okay. What else do we want? Let's get some from. I want some more tarot for some reason. There must be something else that wants to come out. What else about this read, please? Oh my god, oh my god. So I was shuffling earlier and the Two of Cups wanted to come out, and it's just come out. So this came out in yesterday's reading once again with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's interesting actually, because today is Beltane, and Beltane often talks about the union between masculine and feminine energy. So there may be a significant proportion of you who are coming into divine union because you have done the self-work, because you are no longer seeking love or acceptance externally, and you have found that within, and you don't need anything from anyone. You're attracting this in, you're attracting this divine union in, okay, because you have unionized the energy within yourself, the masculine and feminine energy, and so the universe is going to reflect this to you with a union of masculine and feminine. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic for everybody. It is romantic though. I really do think it is romantic. So you know, I think you've probably already met this person, I would say. If not, expect them soon. Expect them to arrive soon. Expect the unexpected with the Wheel of Fortune. Any more on this Two of Cups, please? What can we expect from this Two of Cups? Page of Swords. Okay, new ideas, a thirst for knowledge. This person may be somebody who is quite academic. What else about this, please? Okay, the Devil. That's interesting. So we have the Devil, and I think the Page of Swords was actually reversed, which talks about deception and manipulation. Let me see what this energy is. I don't think it's the Two of Cups. I don't think this is the energy of the Two of Cups. Well, the person that's coming in, this new person that's coming in, it could be an old energy. You could have an ex that's currently within your energy, that's watching you, that's keeping tabs on you with this Devil energy. Somebody who was very immature, as the Page of Swords. Somebody who was all talk, who talked the talk but didn't walk the walk. Okay, and we have the Ace of Cups, which is like complete emotional fulfillment with the Two of Cups here. Okay, so I see. We had the Two of Swords as well. We had the Two of Swords, and we had the Four of Wands, and then we have the Devil and the Page of Swords in reverse. I believe that you were in union, in a relationship with somebody before who was exuding a huge amount of Devil energy. Devil energy is really somebody who is functioning from the place of ego. They're functioning from a place of wounding, of conditioning. They're very much cut off from their own intuition, their soul, their purpose. And so a lot of the times these people do hurt others, and you know, it's not exactly intentional. It's just interwoven into their being because they haven't addressed it, they haven't gone inside, and they haven't done the healing work that you have done. Okay, and I believe that you actually made the decision to walk away from this person. This is leading to a huge change in circumstances for you with the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups, and oh my goodness me, and the Ace of Cups. This is divine union. Okay, I feel that this was a very difficult decision for you. I've been seeing a lot of references to sacrifice, and this has been very interesting to me. There was a picture, and this was an alchemical picture, and it displayed a person with a slit in their hand and a cup, and they were bleeding into the cup. And it really gave me this idea that in order to be blessed, in order to kind of step into your highest timeline, there does have to be some kind of sacrifice. I think usually it is the thing that is the most dear to you. In my case, it was. I had to give up something that I didn't see myself without. Not necessarily because I really needed it or I wanted it, but because I was comfortable with it, and I'd come to see my life as that and not separate from that. And so if this thing was removed from my life, what would my life be? I would be nothing, is what I thought, and I was so very wrong. So very wrong. The best thing I ever did was sacrifice what was most important to me, because it awakened me to my true being, my true essence, my true power. It was the fairest exchange. In fact, I would say that I was blessed beyond measure in giving this up. And I believe that that's what's happening for you as well with this Two of Cups. You're about to be, or are currently, blessed beyond measure with this union that is coming in, okay? What else do we need to know? Is there anything specific? What question does the reader have currently? The reader? I'm the reader. Yes, yeah, okay. So we're coming from a timeline of conflict. We're coming from a timeline of, wow. I don't know if you just see how they fell out sideways like that. Yeah, conflict, competition, people wanting to win at all costs. You know, sometimes you're talking to somebody and they don't hear what you say, they just want to one-up you. And it's all about kind of stroking the ego and being the winner and being the one who comes out victorious, okay? And I believe that this is where you're coming from, but you have decided to walk away from this. I'm noticing the people in the back walking away from this gentleman who has all the swords and seems very happy with himself, okay? You are not this person with all the swords who seems very happy with themselves. You are the person who has decided to walk away from this person, who I believe is represented by the devil energy here and the Page of Swords in reverse. Now, what's stunning about this is that Judgment and the Star just came out together. Judgment is about answering the call. It's about answering the spiritual call, moving towards your highest purpose, answering the call to sacrifice something, to give something up in order to move along on your journey, on your life path. And we have the Star. The Star. You are a star. You are a bright, vibrant light in many people's lives. You're somebody who is very spiritual. The Star is a good omen. It represents good fortune, renewal, faith, purpose, okay? So with this Judgment card and the Star, this is a realization of your purpose, a renewal of your faith. You may have been somebody within this situation with this devil energy, the Five of Swords, all this conflict that was surrounding you, this situation that you felt very trapped in. You've realized the confines, you've taken off the blindfold, and you've seen things for how they are, and this has allowed you to break free from this, okay? And I believe it's because you've decided to value yourself more than these people who brought this devil energy into your life. And the healing that has been happening here is incredible with this Star card, okay? You have blown the healing work out of the water, is what I want to say. You know, you've done this so graciously, so dedicated to this work. You have been with the Seven of Pentacles card here, and you've answered the call. And because you've answered the call, you have become this shining star, okay? And this was always supposed to be what you were going to do. You know, this was always your destiny, your path, with the Judgment card coming out. Let's get a bit more from my own oracle deck. I love this energy in this reading. It's wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, often the greatest sacrifices do lead to the greatest rewards. At the time, the pain is it feels unbearable. It feels incomparable. I remember when I gave up the thing that I knew I needed to give up, there was this one moment when I stepped into the shower and I could literally feel my heart in my chest. It felt like it was breaking. I felt like I was going to die. I remember calling my mum and saying, Mum, I just can't. My body can't take it. I don't think I can handle this pain. And it only actually took a few weeks for me to start to feel better. And I really believe that I had some divine intervention with my healing. I was sent a lot of strength to pull through that very difficult period, and I came out of it stronger and more myself than ever. More for the collective, please. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Wow. Woo! Achievement. Yes, this is a great achievement. You know, you have every reason to celebrate this. You've been through something quite extraordinary. The path that you are on is quite extraordinary. The way that you have been able to transition, you know, from this old reality of sneakiness, of competitiveness, to this new reality, which is kind of represented by the Ace of Cups, which is just an overflow of fulfillment, of joy, of love, of positivity. It's kind of like divine love, basically. You know, once you kind of have that connection to the divine, you have a direct, you tapped into the direct source of pure love. And once you have that, you do not need to seek love externally. And I believe that this is where you're at now. This is how you are currently. And because of this, because your cup is already overflowing, you know, you're bringing in somebody to share this with. Achievement. Ooh! Abundance on the top of the deck. Yeah, this is your abundant timeline that you're stepping into. The wheel is turning in your favor. Stories. Okay, interesting. Put yourself first. Yeah, that's what you've done. What did I say? I say you've put yourself first. You've decided that you're more important than these people who were in this devil energy. Your life path, your mission, your purpose is more important. Spirit is more important. And you've really kind of dedicated yourself to that aspect of yourself, okay, that likely you were very out of tune from before you made this decision. Yes, purging and cleansing. This is exactly what you've been doing with this death card here. You've been letting go of what does not serve you in order to move towards this new beginning. I think you've realized that actually what was around you was a reflection of the lack that you felt internally. The lack, I feel like you felt a lack because you were giving so much energy to things that don't really matter to you. It's not part of your value system, this conflict, this difficulty, and it was emptying you. It was emptying you, okay? And now that you've called your energy back, now that you've cut those things off that were siphoning your energy from you, you are in the Ace of Cups. Your energy is overflowing once again. We have share your gifts and stories, okay? So you may be a writer, you may be an author, you may have also been in a situation in which you were fed stories about yourself, you told yourself stories about yourself that you have since discovered were not true. I know that that's very relevant to me, actually. You know, I was very much like that. I believed I was the amalgamation of everybody else's opinions of me, when actually that's not the case. I am, you know, spirit, I am soul at my core. And I believe this is probably a similar realization that you have come to here. We have, oh my gosh, I love this. We have boundaries and we have wisdom. Yes, yes. Okay, so you've tapped into some sense of divine wisdom. You've tapped into your inner knowing. I believe you're somebody who likely has a lot of experience within this life, which does obviously, you know, add to this wisdom that you hold. But we have the King of Cups as well, which is a very wise, intuitive person. So really you do excel in emotionality, but you're really excelling in emotionality now because you realize that this is your gift. Perhaps before, your gift was, you know, it was disorganized, you were spilling it everywhere because there was so much emotional water within you. But now you've organized this energy and you're in control of your emotions, and your emotions aren't spilling outwards unless you want them to, you know, because, you know, part of art and creativity is very much linked to the emotions and being able to release those and express those, but you're very much in control of your emotional landscape, and you have an incredible amount of wisdom. I believe you're likely somebody oh goodness me, I mean, if you know what bird that is, please do comment, because I'd love to know. I don't recognize its call. But yeah, anyway, you had the wisdom to recognize the situation for what it was, and to actually work on your boundaries, to put your boundaries up, to protect yourself from this siphoning devil energy. And this represented a huge transformation, transition, and end to a certain way of being. Okay, wow. Okay, we have divine masculine on the top here. So this Wheel of Fortune, this Two of Cups, this Ace of Cups, you could be calling in a divine masculine counterpart. You could be a divine masculine yourself, who I'm talking to. We did also had share your gifts, and we had achievement. Okay, so at this time, when you are kind of fostering this brand new identity, you've stepped away from an old paradigm, and you are looking to seed your material abundance. This is your green flag from the universe, that you already have all of the tools you need within to be abundant. Okay, you're likely somebody, people finding these videos oftentimes are very creative, so you're likely somebody who has some kind of idea, some kind of creative gift that can lead to your abundance. Okay, share your gifts to unlock your abundance, because you already have all that you need to step onto this abundant timeline. Okay, what else do I want? Let's get some more from this deck. Oh, I'm enjoying this reading today. Some very, very cool things coming out. I really like it when oh yeah, woo! I really like it when all the cards kind of match up, and it makes it some, you know, great confirmation pretty much from spirit. Wow, no way. We have clarity, and we have clarity is coming. So you may be at a point of indecision, in that you're not exactly sure. You know, you've stepped into this new way of being, very much so, but you're not exactly sure where to go from here. Perhaps you have a few ideas in mind, but you're not sure which one is your golden goose, if you like. But you know, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, and the clarity that you are seeking on this path is on its way to you. Okay, this can look different for many people. It may be that you talk to a stranger and they give you exactly the answer that you have been searching for. Okay, the universe works in mysterious ways. I want to say to pay attention to angel numbers at this time. You're likely getting direct communication from the universe. The signs are probably all around you, and if you are seeking this clarity, know that it's on its way. And oh my god, no. And I was just about to say have patience, and I realized that the have patience card came out as well. So clarity is coming for this new journey that you're undertaking, but you must have patience. Okay, what you've been through, the thing that you've done, has been no easy feat. It's probably the most difficult thing that you've done in your life. It's probably the biggest transformation that you've been through in your life. Okay, and at this time you are being advised to have patience as you are looking to seed this into the material realm, to see your physical internal abundance reflected in the 3D realm. Okay, have patience. And we have luck. I mean, this is wow. At this time you are incredibly lucky, and this is because of how you have shown up in the world. Okay, despite the fact that you were around this devil energy before, and it put you in a very kind of negative mindset, I don't think you ever showed up in kind of an egoic energy. I think you probably always tried to be quite reasonable, quite grounded, quite centered. And it was just unfortunate that, you know, you had these people around you that were kind of keeping you within this lack mentality, because we do take on, if we're around certain people long enough, we can kind of take on their own limitations that they've created for themselves, okay? But because you have unbound yourself, unblindfolded yourself, answered the call towards your purpose, okay, this is a very lucky, auspicious time for you, in which abundance is going to flow to you quite naturally, okay? And what I also want to say is, this new identity that you have stepped into, this new sense of self, sense of being that you have fostered, this is the time to let that person shine. I believe that you have always been this person. You were likely afraid to step out and really fully embody being this person, but now is the time to share your gifts, to share these gifts that you have, because the universe is saying that this is what's going to lead you to the abundance that you're seeking, okay? Is there anything else that we want? Any more here? Okay, yeah, so if you're asking what do I do, if you've got lots of ideas about where to go, Spirit is saying, in order to make the decision, keep this in mind. You must choose the thing that makes you happy, okay? You must choose the thing that lights you up inside, that sets your soul on fire, that feels natural, because that is where the money is, okay? That is where the material abundance is. If you are doing something that really makes you happy, this is how you make the decision between all those things that you're thinking in your head that you might pursue. Do what makes you happy, okay? Very cool. I'm gonna get a couple from the... He's very noisy today. I'm going to get a couple from the archetypes deck, and then I think I'm going to end the reading there. But you know, another incredible reading today. Somebody going through a huge transition that is really changing their life. Okay, we have the thread. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. What else, please, Spirit? What else, please, Spirit? Very nice. Wow. Okay. So instantly we have somebody here who has a very powerful voice. We have the Siren card. Somebody whose voice is powerful. Their power is very much within their voice. This may be to do with sharing your gifts. One of your gifts may be speaking, it may be writing. There is something about the way that you talk that is very profound and very powerful. This is one of your gifts, okay? It's probably one of the things that is going to help you towards your most abundant path. And it's because you've come into a sense of authenticity, because you know yourself, your voice is just getting more and more powerful, okay? And it's also because you're stable within your self-knowledge, okay? It doesn't matter when you speak and somebody rebuffs, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't shake you from your core truth. And that's where the power of your voice is, okay? With the Siren. I'm going to read some on a couple of these, because some of them are very new to me. So let's have a look at the Siren. I tell you what, this book, it's absolutely all over the place. All over the place. We'll find it eventually. The Siren. Yeah, so at the minute you're embodying quite attractive energy. Not only does this Siren have a very powerful voice, but she, you know, if you think about the old tales of sirens, they would lure sailors with their song. So you're attracting at this time. It's kind of associated with femme fatale energy, and this is likely why because you're in this energy, you're attracting this divine union, this Two of Cups, this Ace of Cups, okay, because you are just so magnetic within this new identity you fostered. It says awakened, sensuality, absorption. Yeah, so you've awoken. That's what this is. You've awoken. You've finally awoken to the reality, to the truth. The veil has been lifted. You know, you're the King of Cups. You're psychic. You're intuitive. You are tapping into wisdom that does not come from books. You're tapping into wisdom that is not learned. It's remembered. You know, you're remembering your divinity pretty much with this Siren card here. We also have, with this Siren card, sorry, also with this Siren card, try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option. I think this is kind of representative of the call, the judgment call that you received from the universe, the pull of your own inner knowing. In this situation, despite how you may have tried to deny it, to turn away from it, it was too powerful for you to ignore. You had to answer this call. You had to make the decision to walk away because it just would not be ignored anymore, which is quite relevant for me too. So we have the Pilgrim. Yeah, like I say, this is a journey. This is somebody who's journeying away from the comforts of home, away from the comforts that they've always known, and seeking a brand new land, okay? The Pilgrim, obviously a pilgrimage is usually quite a sacred thing, involving sacred sites. So with this card, it doesn't just give me travel, it gives me well, you know, it doesn't have to be physical travel, but travel in a sense of self, traveling from one way of being to another way of being. But it gives me that this is a spiritual, it's a spiritual path, a spiritual journey. I don't think you're somebody who's new to spirituality. I think you're somebody who quite readily associates spiritual practices into this new way of being. Because it's a spiritual awakening, okay? And you are now this pilgrim. You've started your pilgrim journey. You've started voyaging to the places of you know, sacredness. And this is your new way of life now, being this pilgrim, okay? Journeying with the divine, to the divine, alongside the divine. We have the thread. I don't know why all of the cards that I don't know came out, but the thread. Okay. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously. I've got no idea. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in our body. Our whole being responds to its tug. That sounded like a velociraptor. Meaning, oh my god, this is incredible. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. You've remembered yourself. Congratulations. You have remembered who you are at your core, what your purpose is, where it is that you're going, your mission. You have remembered, you are awoken. And you're leaving behind a whole different version of reality because you have awoken to this. though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread, a song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Wow. You've claimed your freedom. You have freed yourself, okay? You've freed yourself. Wow, okay. Yeah, so it's kind of finding the meaning in the chaos. So perhaps you've looked back on your life, you've looked back on everything that's happened, and you are seeing that red thread that connects every single event. Oh my god, sorry, I hate buzzing things, they scare me so much. Maybe I was killed by a bee in a previous life or something. But yeah, you're seeing the thread that's been woven through all of your experiences that seem so far removed from one another, but after you've had them all, they piece together. They were all individual pieces of a puzzle, okay, that have been leading to this awakening. You recognize the red thread throughout your life, throughout the difficulty and the conflict. It all happened for a reason. It was the divine plan, okay, to bring you it was an initiation, pretty much, is what I want to say. This was your initiation into your spirituality, onto your highest timeline, your highest path. What else do we have? We have 3 more. I'm not sure what. I've not got my glasses on, so I can't see. Let me check. 41. Oh, it was 111 when I looked, which is incredible. Intuition, alignment. I've been seeing 1, 2, 3 today, so sequences of numbers might be very significant. I know 1, 2, 3 kind of represents progression, the next steps. So you know, you've likely kind of been within this energy for a little period of time at this point, and you are looking to take the next steps towards your new life, your new journey. Let's have a look at the kiss. We have the kiss. Find it. It's got to be here somewhere. Oh, how I wish they had numbers. Do they have numbers? No. I'm so sorry, it's taking ages. Oh, the kiss, here we go. Okay. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive with possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue? Do they want me in return? The archetypal energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with other, of letting in what was moments ago separate to become one. Okay. Yeah, so instantly it's not speaking to me of a literal kiss, it's speaking to me of the merging of the self, of reintegration of parts of you that you had separated. You are taking them back in, accepting them, reintegrating them into your identity. Also, what was I saying? I was saying, you know, you've got the 2 of Cups, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, and you've got the Ace of Cups, which is really speaking to me about a romantic divine union that is coming up. You've likely already met this person, and it says, this card suggests that true intimacy is around the corner, which requires bravery and surrender. Okay, yeah, so really kind of working from the heart space now. We've mastered our emotional landscape. We've kind of transitioned into this new way of being with the Fool, and because of this, because we're living from the heart space, because our heart space is open, we're attracting a lot more love, a deeper love, a greater sense of intimacy, of sensuality, and this does require courage, okay? well, you've likely had your heart broken a few times, considering the devil energy that you're moving away from. And so this idea of kind of merging with another might be quite scary for you with the bravery that's come out. But you know, you're being told by the universe that this is a reward, this is a gift, this has been sent to you. Do not have fear, do not be afraid, because this is not going to play out in the way that the rest of your reality has played out, because you have changed, okay? You've changed so very much, and things are never going to be the same, okay? So release that fear, have courage, and open your heart space. Be open to receiving the love that you so readily give to everybody else, okay? I think we have two more. Okay, we have gnosis. Yes. This is innermost knowing and mystic truths. True knowledge is not, oh my God, what did I say? Oh my God, what did I say earlier? Okay, true knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown and every one of the senses. So, I mean, it's talking about wisdom. We have wisdom. You're tapping into this wisdom, and I said earlier in the reading that wisdom does not come from books. It's remembered. It's within, okay? And it's like this red thread. You know, you're attached to this red thread now, and you're gaining wisdom from this. And also, I said that your experiences have created this wisdom, and that's exactly what it says here. So, I mean, that's confirmation. Those who are drawn to gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling. Not knowing is their job description. Wow. So yeah, you've answered the call. You're connecting to this sense of divine wisdom. It's likely because you have a purpose in lifting the collective consciousness. I previously, before this reading, recorded I was reading a book that I found in a charity shop, and I thought that was very, very relevant to those awakening to their purpose and going after their soul mission. So please do check that out as well. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip towards mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Your knowing, your wisdom, your connection to spirit has set you free. It has set you free. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Amazing. So, sorry. You may be a reader yourself. You may be interested in doing cards. You can do them yourself. You know, I was watching readings for months and months and months, and then I thought I'd buy myself a deck, and I did, and it just went from there. If you are this King of Cups, also very intuitive, emotional, emotionally in tune, then you'll probably have a very good time reading your own cards as well. So just a suggestion, you know, you don't have to watch tarot readers, you can do it for yourself. Particularly if you have a very heightened spiritual connection, which you do, because on the top of the deck we have Earth Angel and Light Worker. Okay, I'm speaking to an Earth Angel, I'm speaking to a Light Worker. We also have Cancer on the top, okay, which is a water sign, emotional depths. You may also be a Cancer, okay. So we have this last one, we had Gnosis, which was all about your wisdom that you've tapped into, this knowing that's in your bones, a true, undeniable knowing that cannot be shaken, okay? Your truth center is titanium, it's invincible. Wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Incredible. And we have Kairos. Wonderful. one for the thumbnail. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond an earthly clock and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. Amazing. Once again, we have this idea that, you know, this is in divine timing. The universe is working on in your favor. Sorry, I'm just looking for a card. And we have yeah, this is about divine timing. I don't know where that card's gone, but it said have patience. Okay, have patience while you are trying to seed your internal abundance into your physical 3D realm, because you are on a divine time schedule here. Okay, you do not have to worry, you do not have to try and control or exert. Just remain within this energy, continue to foster this energy, and things are going to turn out in your favor, exceptionally so. Okay, exceptionally so. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. Love that. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing, not a moment longer. Yeah. So you're really tapping into yourself. It says clarity is coming. So you may even receive intuitive downloads, and that will give you the clarity that you need to move forward. But yeah, you know, you've got some incredible things coming up for you, including, it looks like, divine union. Okay, so that's something to be very, very excited about. And have patience, foster this energy, and, you know, trust that the universe has your back, because the Wheel of Fortune is here. Luck, achievement, abundance, it's all here. Okay, you are on the right path. You have answered the call, and both me and your guides, your ancestors, the universe, we're so incredibly proud of you. It's not an easy feat to unchain yourself from this devil energy. Okay, so congratulations.